Welcome to this session on hidden insights in stimulating PCOS patients, what many clinicians miss. We'll focus on subtle but evidence-based points that can improve both safety and efficacy in ovarian stimulation. These insights are drawn from recent ESHRE and ASRM guidelines, as well as high-quality systematic reviews. Traditionally, antral follicle count or AFC has been used to predict ovarian response. But newer evidence shows that AMH is more reliable. Unlike AFC, which can vary with cycle timing and operator expertise, AMH is stable and provides a quantitative value. When AMH is extremely high, say above 10 to 15 nanograms per milliliter, it strongly predicts a hyperresponse and even OHSS risk. That's why AMH should guide gonadotropin dosing in PCOS, not AFC alone. Many clinicians still use clomiphene citrate for ovulation induction, but the discussion should not stop at ovulation rates. The endometrium matters. Clomiphene has antiestrogenic effects on the lining, making implantation less favorable. Letrozole, on the other hand, improves endometrial receptivity while still inducing ovulation. This is why modern guidelines increasingly recommend letrozole as first line in PCOS, not just for ovulation induction but for better pregnancy outcomes. Here's something often overlooked: obesity changes ovarian pharmacology. Obese PCOS patients may require higher gonadotropin doses, but paradoxically, their follicles grow more slowly. If we rapidly escalate the dose, we risk either under-response or over-response. This paradox is because BMI alters FSH pharmacokinetics and ovarian sensitivity. So, dose adjustment should be careful and gradual in obese women with PCOS. Another hidden factor is insulin resistance. Hyperinsulinemia makes the ovaries more sensitive to FSH, so some patients respond excessively to even small doses of gonadotropins. If we don't address insulin resistance, responses can be unpredictable, and the OHSS risk increases. Adding metformin in selected cases can normalize ovarian response and reduce complications. This is particularly important in high-risk or insulin-resistant PCOS patients. High baseline LH is common in PCOS and can be harmful if ignored. Elevated LH disrupts oocyte quality and promotes premature luteinization, leading to poorer embryo development and IVF outcomes. So, monitoring baseline LH is not just academic, it can influence stimulation decisions and ultimately improve oocyte competence and pregnancy rates. Let's summarize the hidden insights. AMH is a stronger predictor than AFC for dosing. Letrozole outperforms clomiphene, especially for endometrial receptivity. Obesity requires careful dose adjustment, never aggressive escalation. Insulin resistance should be corrected, often with metformin. And finally, baseline LH must be considered to optimize oocyte and embryo quality. By applying these evidence-based insights, we can improve safety and maximize outcomes in PCOS stimulation. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more educational content. If you want more videos on specific topics in obstetrics and gynecology, reproductive medicine and surgery, embryology or gynae endoscopy or any chapter in any book, leave your suggestions in the comments. Remember, stay curious, keep learning, and take care. Thank you.